Hello world, this is Barbilee. Good morning. Welcome to Shake Talk. This is where we shake up your wake up. And we keep it really simple around here. Change your breakfast, change your life, right? We start every day with a we. I'm speaking in the royal we. Let me do my royal wave. Around here, actually my family does. We start with the Isogenics Isolane Shake. We eat really well throughout the day. We use network marketing as part of our plan to have a better life. And then I come on here and we talk about things, right? So this last little bit we've been talking about, actually 15 weeks, we have been talking about the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. And we are on commitment number 15. I'm so excited. Seriously, this has always been my favorite commitment. Now, I know I've said that all the way through the book. I love this commitment, but truly being the resolution is my, like, one of my faves, like absolute fave, because in the essence of life itself, that's why I'm looking for some, in the essence of life itself, you know, if we're just going to sit here and complain about it, what's the point? We need to change about it, right? So I always say to people, is this on your bitch list or your change list? Because if it's on your bitch list, I'm not really interested in listening to you for all that long. But if it's on your change list, I am all in. Let's talk about change. And that's what being the resolution is all about. So, screenshot. Wait, I never know. Hold on. I need to not look in the screen. There we go. Screenshot. I commit to being the resolution or solution that is needed, seeing what is missing in the world as an invitation to become what is required. Oh, I love this one. Hello, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. So in this chapter, we're talking about committing to being the solution, right? So it's about looking at everything as a whole, right? Not just what's going on in your little world, but looking at everything as a whole, and how can you be the resolution, right? It is a good question, Jess. And sometimes it depends on who I'm talking to. And I might just say, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's a whole other conversation. All right. So it says conscious leaders, So we're talking, the story is about, if you remember way back at the beginning, we talked about this guy, David, who was this like, hardcore leader, right? And it says leaders like David spend a lifetime, and this is most leaders, solving problems, delivering results, and pulling people along. Many of them have done this from a to-me consciousness, and particularly from the mode of hero on the victim-villain-hero drama triangle. And like other over-functioning heroes, they also spend a fair share of their time in victim or villain mode, in villain in the blaming, and victim is in complaining. So that's where most people live, right? They think they're in a leadership role, but really they might be playing the hero or the villain or the victim. And they really spend a lot of their time solving problems and delivering results and pulling people along, when at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for their own self, right? So when people are in their zone of genius, right? So go back a couple of chapters to the zone of genius. When people are in their zone of genius, leaders have a much easier job. So it's up to leaders to put people in their zone of genius, to help them find their zone of genius. Oh, I just had a big aha. I need to write that down. Give me a second. Zone of genius. All right, got it. See, sometimes as I'm talking through these, I get these thoughts. Anyway, so he talks about being and becoming, right? So in our experience, the commitment, I commit to being the resolution or the solution that is needed, seeing what is missing in the world as an invitation to become what is required. If we break that down, seeing what is missing, okay? So think about something can be perfect, but it can have a missing part, right? So it's simply more that could be. So in the science of mind, we always talk about, I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am. I'm exactly the way I'm supposed to be and who I am and blah, blah, blah. But I can want more. That doesn't mean I'm not perfect right here and right now. It just means I want more. There's nothing lacking, right? There's nothing that I'm going, oh, woe is me about. I'm looking at, I like that over there, right? So for y'all know, I like to be warm, right? So I'm heading off to Mexico, right, for 4 months this winter. And it's like, I'm taking responsibility to see what's missing in my world, which will be sunshine and warmth. So I'm going to make it happen. All right. So it says, there is simply more that could be. There is more possibility, more magnificence or contribution or harmony or alignment or even more love. If we understand missing to be lacking, we fall into the scarcity and life happens to me. So as we're looking at something missing, meaning that what else could I have? What else is better in this situation? What more is there to experience in this life? That's when you can focus on what's missing. And that's where you get to be the resolution. And that's one of the big reasons why I joined network marketing, is because I knew that teaching and working from, well, teachers, I'm not going to tell you, but working all the time did not create the life that I wanted to. Jessica says, I admire that a lot. You know what you want and you go get it instead of just complain. Yeah, thanks, Jessica. I'm a great role model to emulate. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. That's why I keep you around. You're good for my ego. Anyways, so it talks about what can be more, what's not missing, but or not lacking, but what's just what else is out there, right? So I have two friends right now who are with child. That doesn't mean that before they were with child, they were missing anything. They just knew their life could be more when they have this baby, right? So that's an expression of being perfect, whole, and complete, but going, this will be really great if I have a baby, right? Think about it that way. Okay, so with this awareness, conscious leaders receive an invitation. It's not a demand or a responsibility or a have to. It's an invitation that comes with no obligations. So if leaders have this full yes in receiving this invitation, to add what is already whole, perfect, and complete to their next step is to be and to become, well, then anything is possible, right? So he says, I love this. Our experience tells us that the answer is because we can, right? So it's not because something's missing, because they're doing it wrong. It's because we can. You can see how excited I am about this chapter, right? I love this freaking chapter. Because we can join in the creative dance, because we can bring our gifts to a perfect world, because we can write another verse to an already beautiful song. This is what it means to be human with the freedom to take up invitation. Oh, think about it. This is what it means to be human, to take up the invitation. All right? So notice that we are talking about being and becoming and not doing, okay? Being and becoming and not doing. That doesn't mean there won't be doing, because that comes with being and becoming, because you start doing things that you are. But conscious leaders initially focus on who they are being and becoming. From this place, all action is possible. I know. Action not rooted in beingness is usually short-lived, exhausting, and guilt-producing if I fail to do it. Right? When being is prioritized, the doing happens naturally. Just as an apple tree does not exert effort to give fruits to its world, it knows its beingness and rests as apples come forward. That's its doing, right? So being the resolution and becoming that which is required. That's what this chapter is all about. Oh my God, I love it. So when you're looking at situations, when I'm looking at situations, because I can't tell you what to do, I'm just sharing you information. So when I look at situations in my world, so right now there's this mess of a world, not mess of a world, but there's just a situation that I just went, seriously, I found out something on Friday and I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Like seriously, like my stomach just went, oh, and I'm just like, oh. So now what do I do, right? Well, I can't just ignore it, right? A lot of people just go, whatever. I don't do that. If the universe shows me something, I'm supposed to kind of deal with it to some degree, and I don't know what it is. And sometimes it is to put it down, but this time it is not. Anyhow, so I'm looking at, okay, how can I be the resolution? So instead of just firing off, I knocked my computer. Instead of just firing off comments and conversations and emails and blah, 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 I'm giving solutions. I'm offering resolutions to this situation, right? I can see what is missing. And I know I can see the bigger picture. And sometimes people, one of my friends said sometime, the instructions are on the outside of the box because we live in the box, right? So you got to get outside. So that's why it's always good to ask for outside of the box information. Anyway, so being the resolution. So that's what I'm working on this week with this one particular issue. And I'm going to challenge you to be the resolution, to live this juicy and delicious life, to have the best quality of life you possibly can. I start by food, by reading my body, right? So filling my mind with great stuff. I hang around with great people. I use network marketing to help create a financial stability for my family. Like seriously, life is too short not to make good choices. So just do it. Make good choices.